from Blokees. It is the Defender version 7. Power of the Beast, yes. Or should I say, yes. So indeed, this is the latest of the Defender class, and I'm looking forward to sharing a lot of Beastie Boys with you. Not the Beastie Boys, the band, that's something totally different. And I would like to thank Blokees for sending this to me so that I could share it with you. And there's a whole bunch that we're gonna be going through in this set. Some characters you may not even be aware of. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle, welcome aboard. If you've been watching for a while, you probably know who I am, which is cool. And thanks for coming back, that's awesome of you. But it is time to get into these Beast characters. Wahahaha. Yes, be right back. Now, if you've seen my other Blokees reviews, you probably know what's coming, at least this next part. But if not, I find it probably a little boring for me to assemble every single one of these guys for you. So instead, I put most of them all together. And I'm going to introduce them very quickly, and then we're going to go into each one a little bit more in depth. And I am going to put one together for you. First one all the way from the Shattered Glass universe. It is Shattered Glass Grimlock. From Beast Wars II, it is Lio Convoy, sometimes known as Lio Prime. And here we have the kit of his Beast Mode, a lion. The Lion King. Everything you see belongs to us. Kind of weird. Also from Beast Wars II, it is the amazing Gigastorm. Now you may be like, hey, that's Trypticon. With a lot of the Beast Wars II characters, they actually didn't have enough. They reused some of the molds from the US that weren't actually made into show characters. And then they also took stuff like Trypticon and made him a little bit remolded, took out the electronics, and called him Gigastorm. And I'm very excited that they're paying attention to such characters. We also have Sludge, the Dinobot, in his Dino mode. We have Glittering Galvatron. Though I wish to be clear, this is Glittering G1 Galvatron. And why am I being so clear? Because from Beast Wars II, we have Galvatron. Different character, different forms, but very menacing and very cool. We also have the Autobot Ratchet. He's not a beast, but you know, maybe he's also a vet. And there he is in his vehicle mode as his little ambulance. And now we're moving into Beast Wars Neo, because this guy is Magmatron. And I believe he was also released in Beast Machines, but he was the leader of the Destrons in Beast Wars Neo. And then kind of a Beast Wars Neo guy, this is Nemesis Prime from Beast Wars Neo. To be honest, I don't recall if I saw all the episodes. I'm not sure if there was a Nemesis Prime, but there was a toy version of Nemesis Prime that was used and released as like an evil version of Big Convoy, or would they call him Big Prime? But let's go through these guys. I do have one that I am going to assemble for you. And this one is in a blind box that you can't tell, but I am going to show you his card, and then we're going to put them together, and then we'll go through the rest of them. This is not a Beastie Boy. This is actually our favorite little guy. Well, not everyone's favorite, but he's one of the favorites. Cliffjumper. Cliffjumper, often a repaint of Bumblebee in some places, but we'll see if he's more of himself than just a repaint of Bumblebee as we put together this kit. Cliffjumper assemble! Now, if you're not as familiar with the Defender style, these are much smaller, and I would say that they are more like animated in style, almost like anime versions, you know, little short kits of the characters that they're not in proportion compared to, say, the Galaxy's versions. But they're a lot of fun, and we've also had some combiners with these Defender class. What the next combiner set will be, there has been talk about combining a bunch of dinos, but let's put Cliffy together. And you can see there's a big pile of parts. So first thing is to find his head, and we will push that piece in. And that has two purposes. One, it gives him nice blue eyes, and two, it allows it to be attached to the rest of the kit. I'm also finding the legs, the lower legs, and assembling those with the feet. Now, sometimes with these guys, and the instructions on the back of the card, though I have put together enough of these that don't really need to look at this point, but sometimes the legs are slightly different. There is supposed to be a left one or a right one. In this case, that does not appear to be what's happening. So as we assemble him, it doesn't matter which side you make the legs. Torso is easy enough to assemble. It was 2 pieces together. A small piece I just put onto the back. That's his hips, crotch, whatever. Pop that on. And while it shows not doing it till the end, sometimes helpful, I think, to attach the pieces as they're complete. So there he is, and he's armless. He's an armless guy for now. And I'm looking at the upper arms, and I'm not seeing a difference between them, nor with the forearms. So I am free to assemble that and just make that his right arm. Same thing with his left arm. We attach that, we pop on the fist, and we attach that. And the final thing is his glass gas gun. That is the official weapon from the G1 tech spec, which makes things brittle as glass. And so there is Cliffjumper. And again, all the instructions are right on the back. So, and this kit is very posable once you put them together. Full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He does somewhat have ankle swivels because of the ball joint. The bottom of his leg attached to his feet bends at the knee, kicks forward, kicks back, and you can even swivel at the knee joint. So you can pose him so he is kind of moving in one direction or another. Now these kits do twist at the waist all the way around, can get quite dizzy. Arms can go all the way around. Now the gun in his right hand is large enough so it interferes with him bending the elbow all the way. So I'm using his left arm to show it does bend at a nice 90-degree angle. It does have a nice swivel. You can also twist the fists if you so choose. So he could be holding the weapon totally incorrectly, and the head turns all the way around. So a great representation of Cliffjumper. Again, not as proportional as the Galaxy class kits, but a cool kind of mini deformed version of the character, and pretty easy to assemble. So that's one. Let's go through the others, and we'll bring over Lio Convoy, though his card does refer to him as Lio Prime with the instructions on the back. Now you can see that when I assembled this kit, he had very distinctive shoulders. So this was a case where I needed to make sure that I put them on the correct sides. But again, it goes all the way around on both sides. Now, in this case, because he looks like he has almost a jetpack on the back here, he cannot actually be twisted all the way around at the waist, which is a shame. But all the other posability for this kit remains intact. I'm not going to go through every bit, just point out the differences because it would get kind of repetitive 12 times over. Oh, I realized I did not measure Cliffjumper, and he is about 2¼ inches tall. Lio Convoy, which is the name I prefer, though you can call him Lio Prime if you'd like. This kit assembled is, what do you know, about 2¼ inches tall. Scaling is not really a concern. Gigastorm would be way bigger. Now, since we looked at Lio Prime in his robot mode, let's take a look at him in his beast mode. There's his sweet little card, and he does mimic, though you got to be careful because these pieces don't go that far out, but it does mimic his ability in this mode to kind of create out of his mane a kind of fan blade, cause I believe wind attacks. If you have the actual toy, then you know that that's one of the things that he can do. But a great little kit of the beast mode. Now here, because he is not actually a biped, but a quadruped, and a beast at that, I do want to show some differences, like his jaw can open and close, and his feet can twist any direction, as can his lower legs. Movement, they move back and forth. The tail is just there. So this kit, like many beast modes, doesn't have a ton of articulation, but it actually is pretty good. And he's got yellow eyes. So another great kit, but let's take a look at his nemesis, Galvatron. No, not that Galvatron. G1 Galvatron is not my nemesis. My nemesis is Captain Galvatron. Captain Galvatron, corporate tool. Okay, he's not Captain Galvatron. He's commander, leader. The card shows him as BW Galvatron, or Beast Wars, but he is Beast Wars II. He has one of his axes, the actual Takara release of full figure has both, but this kit comes with 1X. And arms cannot go all the way around, only because he's got these massive wing things. Now the character himself can become a dragon and a drill tank, so he's a triple changer. This kit can do neither of those, but is great and posable. Can sit down, relax. These wings can prop him up. He doesn't even need a chair. And again, this is a character that if you are not as familiar with the Beast Wars the second series or the Beast Wars era in general, you may not have even been aware that he existed. Takara decided to create Beast Wars II because we weren't giving them Beast Wars episodes as quickly as they would like, so they came up with these characters, some of which, again, based on previously released toys, some of them brand new molds, and Galvatron of the Beast Wars variety, Beast Wars the second variety, is one of those originals. But he's very cool. And I realize I haven't been using the turntable of doom. We can break that out, why not? Though these kits kind of small on that big turntable. So let's get to an Autobot, a non-beast. Let's get to Ratchet. Ratchet being, of course, the Autobot Medic. There's his card. He carries insurance because he's worried about malpractice suits, or would it be auto insurance suits? I don't know, but very posable. He can do ballet. A great kit, not as complex appearing as some of the Beast Wars that we've been looking at, but a great little character to assemble and pose in different ways. Definitely like that Ratchet. Now this is the Ratchet vehicle mode. Even says Ratchet vehicle. And I have to be honest, this is probably my least favorite of this assortment. This kit assembles similar to the C01 and C02 Cars Transformers, but I just think the deco is a bit lacking. He does have the light bar in the front that is colored nicely. He's got the Autobot symbol and the windshield. It's just the back part. If they had just put a red cross on the side, I think I'd like it a little bit better, you know, one on each side. But this little vehicle is a great addition. And since these guys don't transform, you can pretend that Ratchet did transform and just swap them out. Like so. I'm going to transform. Ta-da! That was quick. And this vehicle is about 2 inches long and overall looks like a decent representation of the character in vehicle mode. But again, I feel they could have added a bit. I don't know if there's any place that makes decals for Blokees. That would be kind of neat. But let's get to Galvatrons of the Beast Wars variety, right-hand Vought. Now, Gigastorm was formerly known as Megastorm before they got transformed into beasts. The only one who didn't get transformed was Galvatron. He was already beastie enough, I guess. But the card just says Gigastorm does not specify that he's from Beast Wars II, but that is where he is from. Differences between him and Trypticon: he's got the horns on the top of his head. The jaw does open to reveal a laser cannon inside. I don't think that there has been a Defender version of Trypticon, which is what Gigastorm is based on. But a great little kit. You can move those back if you prefer, or forward, kind of like weapons. And I did have the original toy, and that went in the purge, and I'm very upset about that. But what can you do? But again, I'm liking the fact that they are bringing attention to some of these lesser known characters. Blokees definitely manages to highlight characters that you really should know. And maybe this kit will convince Hasbro to make a new toy of Gigastorm as a scaled down version of Trypticon. We don't need a Titan, because in the show he was not as massive as Trypticon. So kind of like how in the comic books, Fort Max and Scorponok were much smaller than they appeared in the cartoon, no matter if you're talking the Japanese Headmasters or our wonderful 3-episode season 4. So I would love to get an update on Galvatron as well as a toy. They've given us Lio Prime, Lio Convoy. They've given us Magmatron. They've given us Big Convoy. What's wrong with Beast Wars II? Galvatron, come on, bring it, Hasbro. Anyway, but we're talking about Blokees, which is an officially licensed Hasbro product. So So since we were just looking at a dinosaur, let's look at another. Let's look at Sludge. And there are rumors going around, and I cannot share any knowledge because I don't have it. And even if I did, I'm under NDA. But I do not know if our next combiner kit is going to be Volcanicus. I know we've been getting a lot of Defender Dinobots in their dino modes, so it's possible. And there is this plate on the bottom that doesn't seem to do too much. And if you take it out, there's a little port here. I don't know what that might be for. And Sludge has card. Sludge here. Never sure if I'm doing a good Sludge or a bad slag. The Joafel, that's my fault. I didn't pop it in quite well enough when I was assembling him. There we go. The mouth opens, the legs can move back and forth, the feet can twist, but the tail, there's no movement on it. But it's still a nice looking representation of Sludge. The head can turn. So this kit's got that going for it, most definitely. So again, I don't know if they've been coy in just releasing these Dinobots in the Defender series, and if we shall eventually get a Volcanicus that we could put together kit. That would be nice, but we can hope. Okay, just a few more to go around, and to stick with the dinosaur theme, let's have someone who changes into 3 of them. So this here is Magmatron. I do not know the exact names of the dinosaurs that he changes into. Rather than being a triple changer, he changes into 3 distinct dinosaurs. One's flying, perhaps a pterodon or pterodactyl of some kind. One is a diplosaur or something. It's a water-based dinosaur. And then there's something that looks like it could be related to the T-Rex. And then they can all combine to form one beast. And again, there's his card. Don't want to forget to present your credentials. But a very cool character, very cool kit. Definitely one that you need to be aware of which side you're putting the fists on when you assemble him. And my Turntable of Doom with his small feet, which, you know, of course means he has small shoes. There we go. We got him all the way around without him falling down. But a great kit, fun to put together. You can see the dino heads on his shoulders. Can't really see the third dino head, but it's only a model. Let me know in the comments if you know where that particular quote is from. Impress me. And let's check out our Nemesis Prime. A lot of evil in this batch. Good amount of evil characters. Not complaining. The Autobots outnumbered the Decepticons for many years in the old G1 days. But this Nemesis Prime is a evil version of Big Convoy who becomes a mammoth. Or rather, mammoth. A big mammoth. And again, this kit has a lot of posability. The weapon looks pretty spot on to what he carries. And you can even move the tusks on the back of the kit in various directions. A very cool representation of the evil Nemesis Prime, or Convoy, or whatever you would like to call him. You get this kit, assemble him. You could call him Larry. I don't think he looks like a Larry, but you could call him Larry. And the final one is Glittering Galvatron. Yeah, I'm not kidding, as he falls over. That is what the card says. The deco does remind me of the Behold Galvatron toy that Hasbro put out. And with this kit, the arms cannot go all the way around because of his shoulder attachments here, but everything else is mostly the same. However, kicking forward, this kit has a cover over his upper thigh, well, his entire thigh, and that runs into his torso, so you can't actually kick forward. Back, yeah, you could do a back kick, but a cool character if you have a regular Galvatron and a Megatron. I don't recall if they did a Glittering Megatron, but you could do a transition. They're kits. You can take them apart and put different parts together. You can put Galvatron's head on Megatron's body. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can make Frankentron. But another cool kit, great representation of Glittering Galvatron, which I would say is more, reformatting Galvatron. Now, it would appear that my Nemesis Prime is one of the Chase variants, the other one being the Nemesis Lio Prime. So it's always nice to get a Chase. So if you do get a regular Big Convoy, which is what they call them, then you are in possession of the regular one. So there they are, Blokees Defender version 7, a great set of kits, fun to assemble, and representing some really cool characters. It's not Rise of the Beasts, it's Power of the Beasts, not Power of the Primes. All these different lines, all their different names, are kind of confusing at times. There is a gold coin that came with the set, and it shows Sludge, his little face there, with of course Blokees on the other side, but a very cool set. And I am putting a link in the description that you can go right to the Blokees site, buy a full case, so that you don't miss out on any of these kits. It's also a great way to support the channel. And I do want to thank, again, Blokees for giving the opportunity to share these with you. And while you are mulling over these Defender version Blokees kits, you can actually check out this video right here, which is the Bruticus assembly of the Combaticon kits into, well, Bruticus. And if you're enjoying these videos, by all means, feel free to subscribe. That'd be awesome. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.